Rob Gronkowski, infamous tight end from the Patriots, three-time Super Bowl champ, announced his retirement from the NFL on Tuesday via Instagram and Twitter. Jordan, with Gronk's retirement, what does that mean for the Patriots?
Well, first of all, I like how you described him as infamous. And second of all, you know what it means for the Patriots? Absolutely nothing.
Amen.
Absolutely nothing. They're still going to win the AFC East. They still might get to the Super Bowl. I mean, let's just look at it on paper. They still have Tom Brady, and every single year for the last 3 years, even the year before he threw for 505 yards in Super Bowl 52, in a losing effort, we were like, oh, after the Falcons won, oh, he's so done. There's no way, he's going to go out on a high note like that. Well, guess what? He lost the Super Bowl after that. People were like, he's in decline, threw for 505 yards, won the MVP that year, and then comes back this year and wins another Super Bowl, and debatably the worst Super Bowl any of us have ever seen.
Agreed.
So Brady still clearly has it. The defense looked pretty good over the course of the playoffs, and they still have Edelman, who, as far as I'm concerned right now, is playing like a freaking Hall of Famer. So
I agree.
I don't think they're done at all.
So here's the thing with the Patriots. Of course, they have Bill Belichick. They still have Tom Brady. He regressed a little bit last season, but he didn't have as many offensive weapons. Here's the thing. Gronk really wasn't the Gronk we remember him being last year. Last year, he played more of a role as a pass blocker, not catching as many balls. Of course, he had a big catch in the Super Bowl, but overall, most of the season, he was blocking as opposed to the big catches and touchdowns we've seen in former years. Right. New England, everyone's talking because they didn't make a splash in free agency, but listen to this. The Patriots have 12 draft picks this year. Not to mention, of course, Belichick and Brady. So people are saying that Gronk retiring means all this for the Patriots because he has the most touchdowns from Brady, this and that. It doesn't matter. They're going to go out, they're going to fill the holes that they need, and quite honestly, they'll probably be back in the Super Bowl next year. Yeah. They're definitely winning the division, probably AFC title game. Gronk's retirement doesn't mean anything.
Agree. They still have Michelle, they still have White, obviously Edelman. They are going to have Hogan again. Defensive end they just brought in.
So quick follow-up. Now that Gronk retired, who is the best tight end in the league?
Obviously, with my bias, I want to say Ertz.
Philly?
Exactly. I think Ertz, honestly, is the second best tight end in the league. I think Kelsey is the best tight end in the league. But when it comes to a clutch situation, like who I want to have, who I know is going to catch the ball when it's 4th and 3 and I need him to keep the game alive, I'd say Ertz because of that 4th and 1 play in the Super Bowl. And then, of course, the game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl. But he proves that he can do it in high-pressure situations and make those catches in tight windows. So my heart wants to say Ertz, but really he's the second best, and Kelsey is the best. Don't get me wrong, Kittle also is in the conversation, but I think he's definitely behind Kelsey and Ertz.
I think when you look at the tight ends in the league now, there's two main brackets, right? So you have Travis Kelce and Zach Ertz right here. And then just below that, you have a real handful of players. So that's where you have the Kyle Rudolphs, the George Kittles, the Hunter Henrys. Like, they're all just slightly below Kelce and Ertz. But George Kittle, I'll say this. If that guy has a season like he had last year and with Jimmy G back this year, he'll be putting up numbers right up there with Ertz and Kelce. And I could see George Kittle very soon being the best tight end in the NFL.
Possibly. He definitely had an excellent season. There was one game, I don't remember who it was against, but he had well over 200 yards, a ridiculous 85-yard touchdown, and an insane one-handed catch, a stiff arm. The dude definitely can do it all. He's more athletic than Ertz, but I'd still just take Ertz over him right now in the present moment.
I think it's no question that Rob Gronkowski is a first-ballot Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. Do you think he's the best tight end to ever play the game?
No. I think Tony Gonzalez, Shannon Sharp, Jason, he's definitely top 3 or 4, but I don't think he is the best ever. Now, you could argue that he brought the most to his individual offense based on the fact that he was extremely paramount in the Super Bowls that they won, but they also won Super Bowls without him. They proved that they could do it without Rob Gronkowski, and for that's the reason why I don't think he's a GOAT. And also the longevity. He just didn't have the longevity guys like Tony G and Jason Witten
That's true, too. But he did do more in less time than what some of those guys did in their extended careers.
That is true.
Also, just a quick note, you said they won Super Bowls without him. That's a whole other reason not to be concerned going into next year with his retirement.
Exactly.
I mean, they've done this without him before. Mm-hmm. They played a whole season, I think it was like 2-3 years ago. Mm-hmm. When they beat the Falcons, they literally had that Super Bowl comeback without him. And he's supposedly Tom Brady's number one receiver in Brady's whole career.
Yeah, that is insane, the fact that they can do that without a guy that's undoubtedly a first ballot Hall of Famer and a top 3 or 4 all-time guy at his position.
Yeah, so just going back to our first question, what does Gronk's retirement mean for the Patriots? In my opinion, nothing.
Nothing.